When I was in India one time, I went to a boys' home, I think near Nazareth, I can't remember, but there was an elderly lady that ran the boys' home. She had a disfiguring scar on the side of her face. Great thick red hand that just pulled her face this way. She told me that when she was 10 years old, she had jerked a Coleman lantern off of a high shelf and it exploded on the side of her head. From a relatively poor family, there was no way to do the kind of corrective surgery, and frankly, I'm not sure what it would have helped. Her mother was a hard woman and a hurt woman, and hurt people hurt people. She said to her little girl, "You're ugly. You may as well face it. No man is ever going to take care of you. You're going to have to take care of yourself. You better get smart because there's no way you can get pretty." And she said, "You better educate yourself and make your own way." But this little girl kept having a dream of holding babies and rocking babies and nurturing babies. And she would share that dream with her mother. And every time her mother would forbid her, "Don't speak that dream. That's a lie from Satan. He's tricking you. He's making, no man will give you a baby. Think about this. This will never happen for you." Finally, her mother forbade her. Said, "Don't ever mention that dream in this house again." And so the girl didn't. But she continued to dream it. She worked her way through college. She got a full scholarship, earned her MBA in New Delhi, and returned to her village. The first night she was back in her mother's house, she dreamed the dream again. At breakfast that morning, as they were preparing the meal, she shared the dream with her mother, said, I dreamed that dream last night again, of rocking and holding babies, a room full of babies. And hurt people hurt people. Her mother spun around and slapped her and said, "I told you not to ever mention that dream in this house again." Now, weeping, humiliated, at that precise moment, the phone rings. She picked the phone up and the voice said, "I'm the Archbishop of the Church of South India, Madras Diocese. The woman who runs our boys' home has passed away, and I'd like to ask you, I know you finished your MBA, I'd like to ask you if you will go out there and take a look at it with me." Now she was hurt, and hurt people hurt people. She said, "I'm disgusted that you called me." She said, "All the time I wanted to go through college, where were you? When I was working my brains out to pay my way through an MBA, where were you? Now I graduate with an MBA, and you want me to come and run your crummy little rundown boys' home? No, thank you. I have an MBA." The bishop said, "You've misunderstood, and I've miscommunicated. Please forgive me. I'm not asking to hire you. I want to retain you as a consultant. Will you come out and analyze our books? Will you look at the facilities? Tell us what's missing, what needs to be fixed. Tell us what we need. All I'm asking for you is help us as a consultant." She said, "Bishop, I'm sorry." Of course. The bishop came by and picked her up, his driver, and they drove way out into the country to this boy's home. Said they pulled into the circular drive, and when she stepped out of the car, the house emptied. Little boys, hundreds of them, came out the doors, crawled out the windows. They surrounded the car. They surrounded her. They're jumping up and down. They're cheering. She said a little boy, about 4 or 5 years old, ran and threw his arms around her hips and looked up into my face. And she said, "Dr. Rutland, he couldn't even see my scar. It was as if he couldn't see how ugly I was. His little brown eyes shining and wet with tears. He said, 'Are you our new mother?' And she said, 'I turned to tell the bishop, I've changed my mind. I would like to consider this.' And she said, 'When I turned, his car was driving out the gate.' And she said, 'I've never seen him again.' She said, 'That day I learned 2 things that have changed and informed the rest of my life.' She said, 'The first thing I learned is when God gives you a dream, you hold on to your dream and your dream will hold on to you.' She said, 'When God gives you a dream, wait, and the Lord will bring it to pass by His own miraculous means in His own perfect time.' When God gives you a dream, God will bring it to pass." I said, "What's the second thing you learned?" She said, "The first thing I learned is you can trust God. The second thing I learned is you cannot trust bishops." Now look up here at me. Look at me. Someone asked me one time, they said, "Dr. Rutland, we've never heard anybody preach on dreams as much as you do. But you never tell us what your dream is." Today I will. My dream is for your dreams to come true. "Whatsoever the Lord saith unto thee, do it. Wait, prepare, Let God's perfect timing get you at the intersection at the right moment. And trust God. May God bless you, everyone. And may all your dreams come true. God bless you, everybody. Change your world.